What's up, guys? This is Jensen and welcome to another video. So as we all know, a couple days ago, Stefon Diggs getting dealt to the Buffalo Bills. And I just have to say, as a Chicago Bears fan, I love it. Seeing a division rival get worse, nothing more beautiful than that, as we all know in the NFL. Of course, other than your own team getting better and winning a Super Bowl. But let's look at the Minnesota Vikings now. I think that if they had to make this move, it's an okay return. But when we're looking at Stefon Diggs and Adam Thielen, that was the best combo of wide receivers in the NFL. You hate to break something up like that, and they seem to have a good chemistry with Kirk Cousins. At least it seemed that way toward the end of the season. So to tear apart the duo like this, I'm not a big fan looking at it, because when we're looking at that duo, they were absolutely spectacular. Pair that with Dalvin Cook at running back, Kyle Rudolph at tight end, and that looked like a prolific offense. All of a sudden, though, you lose Stefon Diggs. Is Kirk Cousins going to look the same? Kirk Cousins was very impressive last year before he crashed out in the divisional round of the playoffs. I thought that Kirk Cousins was very good last year. I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins because I think he gets an unfair reputation as a choker. I want to see Kirk Cousins succeed. But I think that without Stefon Diggs, there's a lot of concern there. And if you're the Minnesota Vikings right now, I think the question you're asking is, can you find someone with the 22nd pick that the Buffalo Bills just gave them in the first round? Can you find someone with that pick that could step in at wide receiver, especially in such a deep wide receiver class? No one's filling Stefon Diggs' shoes right off the bat coming into the draft, I wouldn't think. But if you could get a dude who can replicate that type of success, and then the Vikings will come out relatively unscathed. But overall, I think this is a bad move for the Vikings. But if they had to make it, and it seemed like Stefon Diggs wasn't happy in Minnesota, then they had to make it, and I think it was a good move. As for Buffalo, though, this is a game-changing move, and it validifies the fact that Josh Allen is a young stud franchise QB. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a big-time Josh Allen fan. Coming out of college, I thought that Josh Allen, there was a case that he should have been the #1 overall pick, in my opinion, because even though the production wasn't there at Wyoming, you saw the raw potential, the promise, the arm strength, the physicality, the 6'5". He's athletic. He can do it all. He looked like Cam Newton plus. And when he came into the NFL, obviously he had his struggles because it doesn't seem like he's a natural QB yet. He's still kind of learning the game, learning the position. But you could clearly tell last year he got better. And in the playoff game, I thought he played relatively well. Obviously, there are some frustrating mistakes, but that's what comes with Josh Allen. You get a ton of the promise, a ton of the potential, but he has a lot of mistakes at this point because he's a young guy. He's still learning the game. But I think that Josh Allen, if this dude develops right, and I think he will, because the right guys are in Buffalo right now. Sean McDermott at head coach, Brian Daboll at offensive coordinator. These are the right dudes. These dudes are going to make sure Josh Allen develops. I think he could be a top 5 quarterback based on his physical gifts. All of a sudden, you have Stefon Diggs, a true #1 wide receiver. We know this dude's a Pro Bowler. He can do it all. He's a vertical threat. Then you pair him with John Brown. We know this dude, he has elite speed. He's an absolute field stretcher. He can wreck games. We look at down the middle in the slot. We look at a guy like Cole Beasley, who's been so consistent for so many years. He's such a safety valve at that position. At slot wide receiver, a guy like Cole Beasley, that's the type of guy you want at slot wide receiver. You look at Dawson Knox at tight end. This dude, he's young, but he showed a lot of promise last year. Devin Singletary is an absolute stud at running back. You watch him, he's absolutely electric. I think he's going to have a great year next year. The offensive line's really great. That defense is improving. Ed Oliver at defensive tackle. Tremaine Edmonds at middle linebacker. I keep talking about this guy. This dude's an absolute stud. He's a physical freak at middle linebacker. And I think that he's going to be a stud for the next decade plus. As we all know, Tre'Davious White, this was a shutdown cornerback. The pieces are there in Buffalo. I think that Josh Allen's going to step up, and the Buffalo Bills will win the AFC East. With Brady gone out of the AFC East, it's the Buffalo Bills' time, and I think that this team is a legitimate threat to make a run to the Super Bowl. Because when we look at Stefon Diggs, along with the pieces they already have on offense and Josh Allen developing, signs are pointing up in Buffalo. And maybe this year they can make it to a Super Bowl. Unlikely, but it could happen. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll be providing more NFL and NBA hot takes as the season goes on. Have a good day. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Jensen Sports, as we keep track with NFL free agency until its conclusion. See y'all later.